game likes doing that from time to time. I got a blue screen. Well, we've missed some action apparently. Nizmax, he's got a drive-through penalty. Is he serving that now? Seems like he's coming into the pits as we speak. Serving a drive-through penalty. That's obviously for one too many track infringements. And that will definitely throw a spanner in the works for his race. Not Sebastian, the leading GT4 car, chose not to come in. Has not done his mandatory stop yet.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
Halfway race distance and Not Sebastian comes into the pits. As he comes into the pits, the judge emerges from the pits. Or does he? He gets stuck. Well, there we go. Boucher, a lot of action in the pits. Looks like an Indy race. Nick Leon, yet to do his mandatory stop. Your leader, he's still out there. That gap, 23 seconds down to second place. Megatron is in the pits. Nick Leon, one of the last, leaving the pit stop to last. The very pink Ferrari. Second place, still stationary in the pits. Springbok Gamer, comfortable third. And real battles to speak of on circuit. After everyone jumping in for their pit stops, that's Tina Hen. Almost forgot about him. He was supposed to start this race from second place. Something went wrong. Had to start from the pit lane. And almost 2 laps behind when he finally got going. He's now in 6th place. He'll have to drift of your leaders. Yet to do his mandatory stop, the only Lamborghini in the field. Seems like something went wrong in the pit stops there for Megatron. He was in a very comfortable second place, but Springbok Gamer has been able to get ahead of him. So either he had some additional damage on that car which added to the time of his pit stop, or he just spent a significant time in the pit lane. Now he's going to have to catch up to Springbok Gamer if he's going to want to get that second place back. Or maybe I'm just making all this up and the timing screen is failing me once again. Never trust the timing screen. in ACC. Seems like that is the case. Springbok Gamer second, Megatron third, Starcher fourth, All Not Canoe fifth, Tina Hen sixth. Yet to do that mandatory stop. You got the judge in seventh. Top 7 cars, all GT3s as they should be. We go over to the GT4 battle. Well, Kuda has done the jump. Kuda leads that race. In the BMW, not Sebastian, who led the GT4s from the start, but jumped in the pit stops, it seems. He's 5.9 seconds adrift of the leader. 8th and 9th overall. B Racing 10th. Nismax 11th overall, 4th in class. After that he did the mandatory stop and then he had to do a drive-through right after it. So that would have cost him a lot of time. Not just any drive-through, a drive-through at Spa. Three minutes remaining on the clock. Springbok Gamer still holding on to second place. Gap was 10 seconds, it's now 9.5. It's going to be watching that gap closely. We'll be hoping that car stays out of his mirrors for the foreseeable future. He'd be happy with the third, but a second would be incredible. And he'll do all that he can to hold on to that for as long as he can, but that gap is coming down. It was 9.8, then it was 8.8, now it's 7.7. So coming down sector by sector. And I think pretty soon we're going to see a battle on track for second place. It's obviously in the GT3 side of things. Over on the GT4 side of things, Kuda leads. 8th overall. Leads from Not Sebastian. 4.8 seconds is the gap. And they've got the undercut to work. Or Not Sebastian spent a little bit of extra time in the pits getting some damage looked at. I'm not sure what happened, but obviously got jumped in the pits. He had a comfortable lead. It's now 5 seconds adrift. Gap now between second and third, just stabilizing a little bit. 7.8 seconds, hasn't really moved in the past 2 sectors, just staying there for now. Springbok Gamer maybe just upping the pace a little bit, responding to the timing screens. You can obviously see those timing screens. See it coming down and he'll know. As I say that, another second goes out of that gap. It was 7.8, it's now 6.8. So the battle for second is definitely not yet decided. And then over in GT4, 4.4 seconds is the gap for the lead. So that's not yet decided. There's Max trying to reclaim third in GT4. He's just behind B Racing, 0.2 of a second. Gonna be side by side any time now. Just picking his moment. He can retake third place. Your leader in front. It's still Nick Leon running away with it a little bit. Gap now 38 seconds. Springbok Gamer second. Megatron closing that gap continually. It's taking a second here and taking a second there. 5.4 seconds is the gap. Still doing everything he can to reclaim second place in what is race 1, season 5. Wants to get that good start to the championship. Second place would be a decent result. No, it's one thing to catch, quite another to pass. Those are the famous words of Murray Walker. It's one thing to catch, it's quite another to pass. So if you have your racing line sorted out and you've got all your braking points sorted out and you just do what you need to, you can make it very difficult for that guy behind you. And have to wait for that mistake. Rouge for the 17th time. Springbok Gamer still in second, 5.1 seconds, the gap down to third. Back in GT4, what's happening there? Kuda leads, not Sebastian second, that gap is closing, 2.5 seconds. Not giving up on the win just yet. .5 minutes remaining. Still a lot to play for. This match still on the tail of B Racing. Need to get past. That will obviously be a GT4 podium position. You can clear B Racing. Leon leads, Springbok Gamer second, Megatron third, and then over in GT4, Kuda leads, not Sebastian second, B Racing third, and this match doing everything he can to change that and be part of that top 3. Gotta be patient. Stay as close as you can. Wait for that mistake. It's annoying when you chase someone down for 5 or 6 laps and he finally makes that mistake, and probably for the first time in 5 or 6 laps you're not close enough to capitalize. Max still doing everything he can to reclaim that third place in class. Getting all too close. Last thing you want is damage with the last 15 minutes remaining. See that pit window will end in 30 seconds from now. Doesn't matter, as everyone has done their mandatory stop with the exception of Gavin's car for some reason, which is just sitting in the pit lane. Haven't spoken much about Boucher. He's in 4th place, as he has been for most of been in his own bubble really. Been track ahead of him. Keeping to himself, bringing it home in 4th place if he can. 14 minutes to go. Walnut Canoe 5th, Judge 6th. That's the other two Bentleys. Out of these 7 GT3 cars here today, I think 3 of them are Bentleys. So that is your most popular GT3 brand on the night. I'm riding now with Nick Leon and I'm slightly confused. Don't know, on the timing screen there, okay, it's just disappeared, so let's just wait for it to update. But he had quite a substantial lead, and that's been cut down to 8.4 seconds, so I wonder if he had some time off the circuit, if that car is damaged. With 12.5 minutes remaining, is that car damaged enough to bring Springbok Gamer into play? I'm sure he's watching that timing screen, watching Megatron getting closer and closer, and he would have seen that time switch. And all of a sudden he'll be thinking, wait a second, I can catch the leader. Let's see now when they go over the timing beams as that time updates. Last time it was 8.4 seconds, it's now 8 seconds. So another 4/10 over the last sector. He is definitely losing time. That car, probably not the easiest thing to drive right now. And if Springbok Gamer has a damageless car, it should be just closing that gap effortlessly. That all depends on Megatron not catching up to Springbok Gamer. If he catches up to him, he could trip him up a little bit here. Wait for the timing beams so that this can update. 7.7 seconds is the gap at the front for the lead. 20 laps done. 11 minutes remaining in the race. Leon still your leader, 7.4 seconds is the gap, so that gap has stabilized. Megatron still third, 2.9 seconds is the gap between him and Springbok Gamer. We're going to have to keep our eyes on that. Boucher fourth, Walnut Canoe fifth, Tina Hen, he's in sixth. And we've got the Judge in seventh. Then over in GT4, it's Kuda, not Sebastian Nismax. Nismax has reclaimed that third place. B Racing fourth, Chen fifth. And then Gavin, still in the lobby for some reason, but something very wrong with that car. You ride with your leader, Nick Leon. Last time around the timing beams, your gap was 7.4 seconds. It's now 6.3 seconds. Springbok Gamer took another 1.1 seconds out of the leader on the final, on the last lap, but it wasn't the last lap, it was the last sector. These timing screens are getting updated sector to sector. And keep an eye on that again, 6.3, you're going to see it's going to disappear now. When it comes back, that's your updated time. So it was 6.3 seconds, it's now 6.7. Just stabilizing now. Coming up to lap Nismax. You see a GT4 car. That driver in a very different race. Same venue but very different race. Nick Leon has gone off circuit in a bad way. Oh wow. He has gone into the pits. He's gone into the pits. Has he quit? I think he's quit. That puts Springbok Gamer in the lead of this race. 8 minutes to go. Megatron is now second. I wonder if they know that yet. Have their timing screens updated? But Nick Leon is no longer in this race. He will start to drop down the timing sheets. Springbok Gamer leads 1.4 seconds from Megatron, who's in second, where he has been most of the race, just a different leader this time round. Nick Leon was driving around with what appeared to be a damaged car. He entered Eau Rouge and that was that. Don't enter Eau Rouge with a damaged car. Springbok Gamer leads, but now that gap disappearing half a second. After 55 minutes of racing, 21 laps, we have a fight for the lead. Just over half a second is your gap. Down in GT4, 1.8 seconds is the gap between first and second. Not Sebastian not giving up on this race just yet. Springbok Gamer is going to have his car with that mirror, his mirror's full of green very soon. Megatron wants to do it now. He does it, gets it done around the outside. The Springbok Gamer have a go back into the chicane. No, he doesn't. tucks in behind for now. There we go, side by side on the exit. We're fighting for that position. Megatron is ahead for now. 0.2 of a second is the gap. Wants to tuck in, stay as close as he possibly can. If a mistake does come from Megatron, he needs to capitalize on it, get himself in front again. Just 5.5 minutes remaining on the clock. We need a different camera angle. In fact, we need 2 camera angles. I need to watch what's happening in GT4. I can't leave this battle right now. Megatron leads from Springbok Gamer 0.2 of a second. Then we go down to GT4 and your gap is 0.6 of a second. Kuda versus Not Sebastian. So both races with 4.5 minutes remaining on the clock. Both races not decided just yet. Under 4 minutes now remaining on your timing screen. Megatron leads from Springbok Gamer. That gap just growing a little bit now, 1.5 seconds. Back here in GT4, gap just 0.7 of a second. Still a big fight for the lead between Kuda and Not Sebastian. The race may be almost over in distance and in time, but definitely not in result. We don't know what's going to happen in either race just yet. GT3 lead battle just 1.7 seconds. GT4 lead battle 0.4 of a second. That gap at the front there, GT3 Megatron, that's 1.7 seconds, so seems like he's got that under control unless he makes a big mistake in the closing stages of this race. What can Not Sebastian do? That gap 1 second, bigger than it's been in a while. Still looking for the GT4 victory. Keep an eye on that gap as he goes over the timing beam. Last time it was a second flat. Gonna need to make a lot of progress in this last lap.
Right,
get really close.
Final lap. Give it a final push.
Leader is on the final lap. Don't know if Springbok Gamer had a north of some sort, but that gap between himself and first place is now 18 seconds, so he must have had some time off the circuit. He'll be happy to still hold on to that second place. That's a third, Walnut Canoe fourth, Nikion, well, that car in the pit still. He's going to continue falling down the order as cars continue to go by. Judge will be the next one to pass him. And then obviously in the GT4 class, Kuda, Not Sebastian, Nismak, that's your top three. And then B Racing, Chen and Gavin's car that has been sitting in the pits for most of the race. Time has now come to an end, so we just wait for Megatron to come over the line. So once the leader crosses the line, then everyone else who crosses the line will be classified. So it's been a good race for Megatron. Found himself in second for a majority of that race. Didn't have
The leader has finished the race.
didn't have the answers early on for Nick Leon, but Nick Leon made all the mistakes, and he was patient, did what he needed to do, and he's won race 1 of season 5 here in Belgium. Congratulations to Megatron. Springbok Gamer over the line in second. Tina Hen classified 5th. The Judge classified in 6th. We wait for Boucher. He's entering sector 2. Where's that sector? He's entering sector 3. And his race is not over. He's currently in 3rd place there for GT3, and he's doing everything he can to hold on to it, but Walnut Canoe's right on his tail in the closing stages of this race. These two are still going at it, and this is for a podium position. Final lunge. Side by side, so close. Boucher's just done enough to stay in front, and he will claim that final podium step. So that's your podium: Megatron, Springbok Gamer, Boucher, and then obviously down in GT4 we're still waiting for that race to come to an end. 0.4 of a second is the gap between Not Sebastian and Kuda. They're on their final lap. Don't forget, you have a second race to worry about. Late lunge maybe? Not quite. Tries his best. Kuda does enough to stay in front. Kuda wins in GT4, Not Sebastian second. Nismak's third. B Racing fourth. And that's that. I'll just give you your orders real quick before they disappear. Megatron wins the race from Springbok Gamer, from Boucher, then Walnut Canoe 4th, Tina Hen 1st, the Judge in 6th. Then in GT4 you've got Kuda 1st, Not Sebastian 2nd, Nick Leon, that's a retirement, sorry, Nismak's 3rd, B Racing 4th, Chen 5th. And then I'm not quite sure what happened to the likes of Nick Leon and Gavin, but I don't think those two cars finished their races. And that's that. That's been race 1. We're done already. So we head off next week to race 2. If I was a better commentator, I'd know where race 2 was. There we go. Race 2, Brands Hatch. So we'll be back next week with Brands Hatch. Hopefully I'm gonna have a slightly better setup here next week, so we can do this all in one video, but let's not make too many promises. We'll be back next week. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Cheers.